Well, I'm here at Performance Locker, and the weather is finally warming up a bit. Not a whole lot, but it's warming up a little bit, slowly. And I know people are ready to get out of the gym and start moving their workouts outside, especially off the treadmills. I know, at least for myself, running on the treadmill can get very boring, but you have some tips for us on running outside.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that running outside is enjoyable and you can do it all summer long and be comfortable and pain-free and all that fun stuff. So there's a couple really big things that we want to focus on when we're trying to get outdoors and getting into a little bit higher running volume or putting more miles in. First is making sure that recovery is always the cornerstone of any good running program. Running is a wonderful activity, but there's some impact, there's some jarring. So as long as we prioritize recovering in between, that can be a really helpful way to keep those miles coming. A couple big things we can do is making sure not to run too often. So like 5-6 days a week might be pushing it a little too much. Maybe backing off to like 3 or 4, and if we can have days in between, that is always ideal. Okay. Movement is a part of recovery. The more we move, the easier we'll recover. So if you're a 9-to-5er and you're sitting behind a desk all day, that limits your recovery. So think about that when you're thinking about how many miles a week that you want to attack. Another thing is some very simple soft tissue work that we can do on a daily basis, post run, that is going to help keep that tissue moving. So we got a foam roller here. We're going to go through a couple of those simple ones.
Sure.
You ready?
Perfect.
Perfect. Come on down. So here we have a foam roller. It's a really inexpensive tool. It's worth its weight in gold. So we're just going to loosen up some of that very important tissue for running. So I'm going to have you start on your calf, and we're going to cross that over. Now, if you want, you can keep this foot on the ground for less pressure, or you can cross it for more pressure. So go ahead and whichever one's most comfortable. And we're just going up and down the whole length of that muscle, probably around 8 times or so.
Okay. And you want to do this before and after the run?
Whatever works best. If you can get it before and after, awesome. If you can only get it after, if you can only get it before, whatever you're going to do.
Anything's going to help.
Anything's going to help, but the more per week you can do it, the more difference it's going to make. Hamstring is another one, so we'll roll this guy up just to the back of the leg, and we'll go from the top of the knee just to the base of the backside, and we'll go around 8 rolls there. Then we'll go onto the glute with a straight leg, and we'll roll just up and down, kind of on that cheek. And then after that one, we'll go bent leg on the glute. So we'll move this foot out here a little bit. Actually, this one will stay on the ground, and then this ankle will come on this knee and keep in space there, and then you're going to lean to that side. You feel like kind of dig into that hip just a little bit deeper. So we're just kind of getting a little bit deeper into the hip. And again, around 8, just
that feels good. Yeah, I can see how that helps.
It's huge. So that's really big for recovery. It's also going to help get rid of restrictions before we go out and move. Okay. There are certain environments that are really conducive to good, healthy running. One of my favorites is trails, for a couple of different reasons. One is that you have a lot more give in the surface of the trail opposed to the hard, very unforgiving concrete. So when you put all those steps on a concrete, it can start to wear and tear on you. The trail runs also help to break it up physically and mentally a little bit. Every step is different. There's elevation changes, there's rocks, there's all these wonderful things that keep your body guessing, they keep your nervous system firing. It helps to break up the monotony of the movement. And when we get into overuse injuries, it's just because of overly repetitive movement. So something as simple as taking your run from the city to the trail, or even something like Duck Park right here in town, can make a huge difference.
And I know once you're running on the downhill, it feels great after you've been running on the uphill.
Another cool little thing is if you're doing different elevations, you can actually be taking more steps per mile. So you can get more out of less overall volume, which is going to help with the wear and tear on the body. The final big thing is listen to your body. If you experience pain, weakness, aches, that's a bad sign. That means something is wrong. So just getting that no pain, no gain mindset and just pushing through it can often cause more harm than good. So if you get a knee ache, stop, back off. Don't run as much that day. Let it heal. Think of like a smoke alarm in your house, right? If the smoke alarm goes off, if I take the battery out, it doesn't put out the fire. It just takes the battery out of the smoke alarm. So when the smoke alarm's going off, we want to address whatever is there. So whether you're seeing a fitness professional or a physical therapist or chiropractor or massage therapist, but when you start to experience that pain or achiness, something's going on we want to address, or maybe you just need a little bit more time and rest to recover before hitting it back out again.
And I think people do have that mentality that they're just being tough and they should push through it, but really they're causing themselves more harm than good.
Absolutely.
So.
There's a huge difference between discomfort and pain. Discomfort we can push through, pain we got to listen to.
All right, perfect. Thanks so much. Well, that's it for this edition of Fitness Friday. We'll see you next week.